He meant just the dogs.
Nope, kids too. Yep.
This is the Fire Station Lions Club.
Oh my
I'm
god.
famished.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Alright, so now we have to talk to the heat of the side. Oh, it's on? You can talk, but I'll just
Okay,
kind of...
I'm interviewing you too.
Welcome back.
What's
to
going
Real
on?
Talk with Kandi Thompson. You do it every time.
And Garrett Gray. What's up?
Yeah, so welcome back, you guys. We're very excited to see you again, and we're excited today. We got a couple of crazy things to talk about today.
I think interesting things.
Yeah.
And so it's not a change up, but I think we're just changing our tune of the buyer and seller and talking about a different side of real estate.
Right. Still real estate.
Yes.
But, and also a little bit of craziness happening at Argonaut High School.
Oh,
yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I
and
actually found out who it was, too.
we're going to jump into Easter as well. So, first things
Good
first.
stuff. Yeah, what do we want to tackle first? And this all happened within, I would say, 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a lot.
Yeah. So, as a real estate professional who does the sales side of the business, I do commercial. I also do property management, which everyone thinks you're crazy when you do property management. It's
Except for
definitely-
me.
Yeah. No,
I
he
want to
does
get
it too.
into property management more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it is a different beast.
It
You
is.
either love it or you don't love it at all. There's not a whole lot of gray in property management, and we love it. We've been doing it for a long time. We have a whole staff. We've got, hundreds of properties, and we love it. But with that comes the craziness.
How many
for
properties
sure.
would you say you actually have? Like you manage. I don't think you have
Yeah.
properties, right? You haven't
No,
invested
we
in any?
manage them.
So you manage them. How many is it like, would you say, do you have an exact number?
So we have about 200 residential properties. And when I say residential, I mean we go up to a 7-plex.
Okay.
We actually just got called the other day to start managing a 24
I heard.
apartment complex.
I heard. That's
So-
the one that I've been looking at up
Yeah.
there in Pine Grove.
Yeah.
Huh?
So that's potentially coming.
That's nice.
And so that's exciting. We have managed another 20 unit complex. I helped the buyer of the Patricia Lane 20 unit complex when it used to, anybody that's on Patricia Lane knows that used to be the ghetto.
Yeah.
And I helped a buyer. I wrote a letter to
Nice.
the owner and said, hey, I have a buyer that pays cash and closes quick and he wants it in as is condition. And that place wasn't even listed and we
Right.
sold it. So that buyer, the seller was like, okay. And so we did a deal there. So that was kind of fun. But he flipped all of those and then sold it. He made a killing on that
bet.
place.
I
Made
bet.
a killing. He bought it for $900,000.
Oh, wow.
And that's 20 units. So there's 12 1-bedrooms and 8 2-bedrooms.
Right.
And he put $20,000 into every unit to completely flip them.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like the cost analysis that you have to go through to see how much you're going to put into it. That 24 unit one is going to need a lot of work. I drove it by it 100 times and it's going to need a lot. Well, that's what you have to do though. If you want to get an investment, right? Especially nowadays, if you're trying to buy something that's multiple units and you haven't had work or it hasn't had work done to it, you're gonna look into probably putting $10,000 per unit.
Right.
I mean, that's flooring, that's painting, that's walling, that's roofing, that's HVAC,
Potentially,
updation, right?
Potentially HVAC. And so here's your little nugget on today's podcast is that there's with investors, real true investors, the rule is the 1% rule. And that's really what big time investors go off of. Now, there are many people that buy residential properties and use them as rentals. And as long as they make the payment, they feel good. And that's great, whatever works for you. But a true investor is looking for a 1% rule. And so what they're looking is from the price that they purchased the property, including all the repairs that they do to it, they want to make 1% a year off of what that amount is.
Right.
And so you figure, I mean, that's this one that we did on Patricia Lane, it was like 3%. It was ridiculous. The numbers were so crazy on this. And so anyway, that's enough about that. But we to answer your question, we manage about 200 residential properties and we manage close to 50 commercial properties. We also manage 3 storage facilities.
Right.
We have managed mobile home parks in the past. We have another one that we're actually in contract, getting ready to go into contract with right now.
You know what I just heard about, and it's a little bit caveat off of the question, but you did answer it. People are going in now to mobile home parks, buying up the mobile home park and renovating the whole thing and putting
Tiny homes
on them. Not even messing with the actual modular homes, and it's turning to be a huge profit.
No, it's
apparently.
a huge profit.
It starting down in LA, I guess. Someone was talking to me about it. I forget who it was, but they brought that up to me, and I was like, I've heard about it.
Oh, it's awesome.
And I see that as being super beneficial, because if the biggest issue I think in mobile home parks are always just the mobile home, right? How good is it? What type is it? How is it going to last? Depending on where you're at, the weather, the environment, right?
Right. No, and that's actually the one that they're going through the process right now of getting into contract with us. It's the same exact thing. There's 24 units or 24 spaces, and 12 of them are brand new tiny homes that they just put in, and they're getting ready to convert the other 12. And what's happening is that people are coming up from the Bay Area and buying those, because ultimately all they rent is the space. They're not, so they buy the unit, and it's a great retirement. And this one's super awesome. It's on the water. Like, it's really, really cool.
Nice.
And so, it's an interesting dynamic, but definitely comes with its challenges.
Well, I think it's also the point of when you start getting tenants, what is it? I would say the appreciation of what they have has dropped dramatically in the time frame of the tenant world.
Yeah.
They don't own it. They don't care. Why, they want to, and even then paying their rent, it's like, it's not theirs, so why should they care? They're going to put their money into the things that they want, and which renting has saved them the ability to go pay these other things and have, that luxurious look.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
without owning
something, but you have no asset, you have no value. It's
but
hard.
Sometimes people have to. I mean, renting is an essential thing. There will always be rentals. And I remember about maybe 8 years ago that Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump actually wrote a book together.
Yeah.
And they predicted at that time that the rental market was going to go crazy. Like that it was going to be the next market, because there's just not enough homes in the nation for the amount of people that are here, let alone in the state of California. So
it's driving the supply and demand too.
Yes,
people can only
100%.
build houses so fast new, while the old ones are getting bought up by now corporations and turning them into rentals.
Right.
So I mean,
a lot of commercial places are actually, they're converting their commercial places into residential.
I don't see why not. Once you have this COVID outbreak, you see you don't have to work at a space where you're paying, upwards of a ton of money a year for that company to have you sit somewhere where you can sit at home, be comfortable, and potentially get more production. We don't know if that's a statistic, but now they're turning them in, and I think it's a great move.
No, it is. It is a great move, and it's happening so frequently though, because the state's not going to turn you down.
No.
I mean, you do have to convert your commercial into a residential, or you can't hook up your utilities correctly, but you do. It's the same thing as being allowed to have an ADU on your property.
Right.
They're just creative ways on creating more housing.
I call it maximizing property.
Yep, exactly.
Right? What is it used for? How am I going to maximize this property? Am I going to move someone in here that's going to have a business for 5 years, which is about the normal term?
Right.
Or am I going to move someone in here that's going to live pretty much for the rest of their life, unless they have enough money to move out?
That's right.
So
well, with property management, there are the pluses and there are the minuses. And the hardest part, so it's funny because just recently, California Association of Realtors has historically not done property management at all, like not even given it any thought. There were no forms on it. There was nothing.
Yeah.
And since COVID, the market, well, I should say in the last 3 years, the market's adjusted a little bit. And so California Association of Realtors, we call it CAR, they have actually started expanding their property management so much that they now have all of these forms. It's really, really awesome. It's been very beneficial because I've always subscribed to CAR because that's, I'm a realtor.
In California.
But I used to also have to subscribe to CAA, the California Apartment Association, because that's where all the forms were. And based on the properties that I have, that's about $1,400 a year to subscribe to that for the forms. So it's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So now that CAR is having the majority of those, I don't even subscribe to CAA anymore.
Really?
No, it is so awesome.
Well,
So
that's made it great. That was a good change on their part.
it was such a good change. But as a result, they've done these property management conventions and conferences, I should say, for the last 3 years. and they've done them virtually because they're doing it all throughout the entire state. And so I was asked to speak at the first one, which was super awesome. What an honor. I think there's like 12 speakers, and they asked me to be one of the speakers.
But that
and
was just a couple months ago, wasn't it?
No, this was the first one. This was 2 years
gotcha,
ago.
okay.
Then the second year I couldn't make it. And then the third, so this last year, like a month ago, I was asked to speak at it again, and it was super awesome. I'm so honored. I mean, literally, like, it's so fun to know these people and to get in these networks, and it's really a benefit. But one thing that I was asked to talk on, it was a panel of myself and 2 other women, and we were asked to talk about the challenges, the uncommon challenges of property management. And one of the uncommon challenges of property, yes,
they use that word.
They're
too.
common. They're very common. They happen all the time, but you don't see it. So this is something
makes
like,
sense.
I mean, there's almost 800 people that were on this Zoom call. And some of them are breakouts. So you can break out to this class or you can break out to this one. But because this one is so relevant, they had everyone a part of ours.
Right.
And so it was one of the first things I talked about was bad Yelp reviews. I mean, you have to be prepared that, first of all, the tenant has never done anything wrong, right?
Right.
And so it's all our fault. And so they are going to give you a bad
business, though, right?
No, not as much as it is with property management.
No, I agree, because
it's
their living space, right? It's not their 9 to 5. It's literally where they're living. So of course they're going to have worse complaints. But
God forbid that they have any deductions from their security deposit. And I mean, we're anal. We are so anal. We take like 1,000+ photos before someone even moves in. And now with the law, I mean, the law just changed, but we did it anyway. We would take pictures when they move out, before their repairs, and then after the repairs. And so now you actually even legally have to provide the tenant with those pictures. If you're going to deduct anything from them, which is totally fine. And for those of you that do property management, Google Drive, you can upload them and send them a link. So you don't have to have any of the little, thumb drives or anything. So in doing this, though, we come across some really, really rough tenants. And so when we take over properties for owners, it's usually because the tenants are bad.
Right.
And they're very difficult. Not so much that they're like bad people, they're just difficult renters.
So that's why property management was developed,
That's
right? It's to separate, kind of like church and state kind of deal, right? Like, I just want to get a paycheck from you. I don't want to have to deal with you, because there are some people out there that are a little bit hard to swallow in some sense, because either they just don't know how to communicate or talk. And I've been saying this phrase, I heard it and I've just been stuck with it. It feels nice to be important, but it's also important to be nice.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, and that's just how it works.
Right.
At the end of the day, you don't own that house, right? You are paying a rent for it to live there and be able to provide it. But take care of it. It is your space at the end of the day.
Right.
Me being a kind of a landlord associate, right, is I want them to feel at home. I want them to take care of it. I am all okay with if you want to do a little repairs or you make your house feel homely. You want to put up lights and have a backyard and all that. But I also expect you to mow the grass. Right. Or maybe if you have a huge hole in the wall, to call me and tell me that there's something there. And if you're like, oh, I'm a sheetrocker though, I could fix that. By all means, go ahead. It's your stuff, right? I want you to feel some sort of entitlement to it. But don't just sit there, wreck it, and then say my house is shit.
No, literally.
You know what I'm saying? We understand they're old.
No, for real. But you have to, I mean, the law states that you have to leave it in as good or better condition when you leave as when you got it, right? Aside from normal wear and tear. Well,
normal wear and tear
is fine, right?
Not molding in the roofs.
No, for sure. And so, but what we like to do is, it's really hard to remember. With that many properties, it's almost impossible for us to remember what your house looked like when you moved in. So we take pictures and then we upload them to our iPad. And when we do the walkthrough, we've got every photo of how it looked. So we do a pre-move out inspection with you. We go through this whole thing. Well, when we take on properties that the tenants are already in it, which some property management companies won't even do that.
Really?
I feel like we have the ability to help them. 9 times out of 10, it goes to an eviction. And we have the ability to do that too. So that's our evictions. When people ask me, what's your eviction rate? My eviction rate is taking over properties that have bad tenants in it. But I also feel like we have the ability and we know the laws and the know-how and the resources to help get that person out a lot faster faster than an individual owner can do it on their own.
At the end of the day, running a business like anything else, right? If you stay inside the black and white, the rules of the legal limits, right, and don't wash in this gray area,
Right.
you're covered.
Right.
Who cares what anybody else says?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're telling me because I know I'm doing this right, and it's not going to come back to me. It's probably going to come back to you, and you are probably going to be gone. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, and the thing about property management that is so crucial is you've got to know those laws inside and out.
you'd
And
have
those
to.
laws change monthly.
Yeah.
That's no joke. April 1st, laws changed. I mean, literally, you have to know the laws inside and out. And you can't just expect they're going to be emailed to you.
Yeah.
You actually have to look it up and be actively researching
Where would
the
someone
new
find
laws.
these laws that are going to be
So
actively going
CAA, CAA.com, you do not, and it might be CAA.net, California Apartment Association, you do not have to subscribe in order to see the articles. They'll
articles.
update you on the laws. And now actually even CAR, if you go to California Association of Realtors, they'll even update you on new laws. You can literally Google new laws in 2025 and see all of the most current relevant ones. But then here's where everything changes. Mobile home law,
Yeah.
night and day from residential
I
law.
bet.
Totally different. If you're going to take on mobile home parks, you better know the laws because you're going to get in a lot of trouble for
Yeah.
that. Same with commercial law.
Yeah.
Night and day from the other two. So there is a lot to know. I love the law, so that's what I specialize in.
Yeah.
But so we've taken over these properties, right?
Right.
So on March 1st.
Oh, this is because now I get it.
March
Now
1st,
I
we
understand.
just took
The story
took
is
this.
now connecting now. She did say just earlier the eviction rate is because taking over bad tenants. All right.
So we got a call from a woman who is a single mom and she has 2 properties in the county and she needed help.
Yeah.
She needed help. She didn't plan on the tenants leaving.
Right.
She just needed help managing them.
Right.
They were a little bit
Probably a
much.
lot.
Yeah.
It is
They're
a
a
lot.
lot. And honestly, for anybody that has properties, get a manager. Like you can treat it like a hobby and make hobby money, or you can treat it like a business, hire a manager and make business money,
Yeah.
right? Like, so it's a totally different ballgame.
Right.
And so she hires us and it's totally fine. I always want people to feel super comfortable when we're taking over their properties.
Right.
So we try to go above and beyond to make it like very casual, very like we're here to help you.
Yeah.
She was not raising rents. Nothing was changing other than the fact that she hired a property manager. That was it.
Right.
So part of
And
that
you go
is
off the basis of the person owning it, right? You don't come in and be like, this is what you need to do.
No.
You
No,
come
no.
in and you say, okay,
Yeah.
what do you want to do?
That's it.
I'm here to work for you. I'm just going to take the issues out of
Yeah.
it because I'm going to be a buffer.
That's right.
That's really it.
We're going to help.
Yeah.
So and that was great. I mean, this woman needed help and we were able to jump in. So we communicated with the tenants to let them know we were taking over. Generally, we text them. I mean, in my real estate office, every desk in the office, I pay for a cell phone for because it never leaves the office, but
Yeah.
because everybody texts, nobody will pick up their phone.
Right.
And I don't want my employees to be texted home by a bad tenant in the middle of the night.
That would be, I bet you someone would cry.
I would have no employees left.
Oh my gosh.
So this situation, we schedule an appointment to go do walkthroughs. That's what we always do. So we
Right.
schedule an appointment to do a walkthrough. Then we want to do the contract again. Nothing's going to change. It's just going to be in our form. So if it
Yeah.
ever goes to court, I can fight my form, right?
Yeah.
So we scheduled this with the tenants. They already were having an issue, and it's 2 properties. A mom lives on one property, son lives next door. They're 2 completely separate properties, though, right?
Gotcha.
So we set it up. We're going to do them both at the same time. Totally great. I like to go do the property visitation first because then I get a lot of my questions answered. Then we come back the next
Right.
day and we generally do the. That's usually when we do the contracts because
Okay.
then I have like. I don't know if it's the refrigerators theirs. If they do, they have central. A lot of the questions.
It's
So
like doing a listing appointment,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like you're going to
exactly.
walk through, get the understanding of the house,
Yeah.
right? See what it is, and it's going to answer 90% of your questions
For
right
sure.
there.
Then we ask him to come in the next day. We meet him in our conference room here. I actually pull up the tenant portal for him, go through the whole thing because we have a big screen TV in the conference room. And so that way they know, they're aware. I want them to be equipped on how to pay rent, how to submit maintenance, everything, right?
Yeah.
So we schedule these appointments with these 2 people and and they're scheduled and then property management world happens and it is never what you expect. Every single day is different. And so I'm running about 25 minutes late on this appointment.
Okay.
So I'm driving up there.
Yeah.
One of the girls in my office calls and says, "Hey guys, Candy's running about 25 minutes late. We're so sorry, but she is on her way." I mean, I'm going up 88,
Yeah.
right? So they say, "Nope, we have to be somewhere. Never mind, she can't come. Oh, I mean, I'm like, oh, turn around, right?
Okay.
I mean, I'm literally on my way. So we try to schedule for the next, I think it was not the next day. We tried to schedule for the next day, but it didn't work out. So we're thinking, okay, the following week. So they already are set up with the portal. They already know how to pay rent. I've already walked them through all of this stuff. This is just a matter of going through the property now, right?
Yeah.
And then all hell breaks loose. And it is like, so the mom did not pay rent. She has until the 5th to pay rent. I get that anytime there's a transition like that, I always give a leeway, right?
Yeah.
So like, nope, it's totally fine. Just, hey, I wanted to remind you, rent is due by the 1st. We want to make sure that you get that paid because I
Right.
don't want to post a notice, right? We would
Right.
have to post a 3-day notice to pay or quit. She loses it. She says she's already paid rent. No, you haven't paid rent yet. No, I paid rent. I paid first and last. No, owner's like, nope, her contract says first and a deposit. She hasn't paid first and last.
Right.
So this is already bad, right?
Yeah.
Then the son starts going. So now now they've gone crazy on
Right.
us. We're on like day 6 into the property management side.
Oh,
of
now
this.
they feel like it's fight or flight.
No, it's literally, I'm like, holy crap. So now it just escalates from there. I mean, it is literally, and day 11, March 11th,
Yeah.
they start posting bad Yelp reviews, bad Google reviews. And I'm like, holy crap. Like I've never even met him in person yet.
Right,
Like, holy
right.
crap. But at this point, like, I'm not going up to their house by
No
myself. I mean, this
way.
is a very, very abusive situation. It's to the point that by the 11th, the owner's already asked if it's okay to go ahead and block their numbers because they're so mentally abusive.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, 100%.
Well, I'm sure
you
they already
block
had her
them.
number, so they're blowing her up
Oh,
like crazy.
blowing her
Yeah.
up, making her out to be the worst human being on the planet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, you block them, we're good. So we're going through this process. So fast forward, right, to, the woman says she gave a 30-day notice. So owner's like, all right, well, I mean, I have a deposit. I'll take that out of her deposit if she's
Yeah.
going her 30-day. But ultimately, she did also consult with an attorney to get the attorney started because
Right.
we figured she wasn't going to get out. The son ended up coming in, paying his rent and giving a 30-day notice, but he paid his rent on the 11th of March for March.
Yeah.
Right? So now we're into April. So, I mean, the abuse, I had to do a cease and desist letter in March.
Yeah.
On like the abuse has to stop.
Yeah.
Like, you have to stop doing this to
Right.
me. And I mean, I don't take much personal, but
Right.
like at the end of the day, like you're just consuming too much of my time, right?
Yeah.
So April 1st comes, we're coming up on again, and mind you, the woman should be out. Like,
Yeah,
so I
30
sent
days.
her a message, hey, just wanted to see, like, I want to make sure you were going to bring your keys here. Or if you don't have
How are
keys.
you doing it? Yeah.
Just text me that you're surrendering possession just so we know you're out, right? Because
Right.
I mean, otherwise every day she's being accumulated rent.
Yeah.
Does not respond. I email her, I text her, no response. So, all right, she's not responding. So let the owner. Then the son ends up, he's out on the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So we think, okay, maybe mom's getting out with him. We don't know, right?
Yeah.
So he does end up
moves in with
and it's a
son.
horror. I mean, even it's just the worst. What I dread ever having to send a message to any of them. So we send a message like, hey, just want to make sure you know, like your 30-day, but you haven't paid rent yet, but you're out on the 11th.
Because it's April now.
No, I gave a 30-day notice and I paid rent the day I gave it.
Hey.
So that was for March. Like you don't give a notice on a day and pay 30 days in advance. Like you paid for March and you still owe 11 days for April. So,
Yeah.
but like, it's like, let's just get him out. Just
Yeah.
get him out. So he gets out when he's supposed to. Mom doesn't say anything to us. We don't even know if she's out. She's never responded to any of my communication. So we assume she's still there. The way that she did finally respond to me, but it actually kind of indicated that she was there. And I was like, okay, so the owner goes up on this last Saturday, goes up and finds out that, oh, she appears to be out. But to be honest, tenant landlord law, you can't assume they're out. So she's done nothing to surrender possession. She's not told us she's out. She's not turned in keys. So like the owner is not going in because she's not violating her rights, right?
Right.
So finally we get an email on Saturday that is the most to date, the worst email I've ever received from a tenant. She called me the C word 2 times in the email. She commented on my weight multiple times in the email. I've never been portrayed to be such a horrible human being.
And was it her or her
It was
son?
her.
Oh.
That was her. Yeah, no, he was hellacious. Oh my gosh. But he never went to this level.
That's crazy.
And so since then they haven't stopped. But I posted on social media because I'm like, these people have to like this. They can't get away with this. This is so wrong. So my point in posting on social media is to say, number one, people have to take personal responsibility for themselves.
Yeah.
And I highly encourage, if you're a property manager out there, read the other property management Google and Yelp reviews before you look into hiring approving an applicant, because the bad ones are on. They reveal themselves on there, and it was so they also recruited person after person after person that I've never done business with in my entire career
to go put
1-star reviews on my Google reviews.
Now, do they know that you can get those removed because you just have to prove that you've never done business with them?
I've tried it over and over. I'm still trying. I'm in communication with Google Workspace, but
because they have to prove that they've done
they
business
have
with
to.
you in
I mean,
order to
my
have a
comment
review.
is I've never even done business with you. I don't even know who you are.
Right.
You're only on here because of so and so.
Right.
So if you're curious on who these are, just go to Argue Reviews.
You know what? We will probably post this on the deal. I'm going to probably put the email up on our
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh, it's
we'll
just
have it posted
crazy.
up. You guys can read it because that is wild.
But you know, honestly, that's why you want a property manager, because to me, she has absolutely no bearing on my life. I take nothing that she
again,
says personal.
You know, people that
I
live in
pray
a
for
small
her.
town like this, though,
Yeah,
well,
I
they
know.
live in a small town like this. I'm
Somebody knows
almost
them.
pretty sure, well, not even that, but people that own property in this area all know each other. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you're going to be able to get into another, because if they're not going to deal with you with a property manager that's supposed to be buffering all this, they're not going to deal with you themselves.
No.
And it's just rough, man. I mean, I get hard times,
owners.
and I get issues, and I get having bad times, but there is a part of the deal of like just trying to understand first before you just start.
No, it was so bad. Like, you guys, we literally could have 5 episodes on just what transpired in the last month and a half.
Yeah.
But one thing that was so crazy to me, so I'm continuing to try to get someone up there. They're like, oh, you should be coming up. Oh, no. Myself or the owner are not coming up anymore. So we're just going to allow you to get out. But I did send a maintenance guy. I have a maintenance guy. They've claimed their house is uninhabitable, right? Of course, all things wrong. I have no hot water. I have no heat. I have no oven. Clearly, they've Googled what makes a house uninhabitable, because those are all the things, right? So we're like, oh my gosh, let's get someone up there. I'm literally emailing this horrific son on a Sunday to say, hey, I have someone that can come tomorrow at 9 a.m. It's 6 p.m. on a Sunday night. Hey, I have someone that can come. He says to me, is that my 24-hour notice? What? I'm like, you're going to require a 24-hour notice when you're saying that the maintenance on your house is urgent and making it uninhabitable?
Right.
Oh, no, he required a 24-hour notice. We had to have the guy go the next day. That's how urgent these requests were.
Okay, fine. We'll work with you. That's fine. We'll do 24 hours. But
Isn't
just
that
so you know,
crazy?
you're texting me all this, so now it's able to
Everything's
be
in writing.
used, so it's all in writing.
Everything's in writing,
Like,
yeah.
people don't understand. They don't want to talk to people in face-to-face.
Love it.
But there's so much they can
my
use
most
in
favorite.
text message and email that it's like, why?
My most favorite.
Why are you doing
Yes,
that?
yes.
They're going to use that. Like, I don't know how
I
some
was like,
people
just,
work, man.
I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. That night that I had to ask him if we could have someone come, I have probably 15 emails after that on him bashing me. This is my favorite one. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm a drunk. Kandi, when you stop drunk emailing me, I don't drink.
She doesn't.
I don't drink a
doesn't
drop.
drink,
I haven't
I
drank my
promise.
whole life.
Yeah.
And that's hilarious.
Which is
I'm
crazy
like,
too, because when you email, we also use ChatGPT. We also have Grammarly. We also have like 4 other AI apps. I promise you, before we send out emails, it's been checked 16 times.
literally.
And then we have somebody read it.
Yeah.
So I know.
ChatGPT makes me nice. I can put an angry email in and it says, here's a more professional
You're
version.
right.
Thank you. So
Drunk
it
emailing you.
was, she says I drunk email. She was emailing me today. I can't even tell you the amount of emails I got today with this woman. And all I asked her was, can you please provide your address so that we can know where to send the security deposit statement to, right? And she did not. She told me to
In a
F
van
off.
down by the river.
Yeah, no, literally. Told me to F off, told me all these different things, but she never once provided the address.
Thank you.
So I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't notice the address in there. Can you send that to me?
Yes.
She tells me to go F myself again. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think they accept email or mail there. I don't think they get mail there. That was my last response. Like, I'm done with these people.
Holy
so
cow,
anyway,
man.
it's all over. They're
Right.
out. We successfully got them out.
Yeah.
Thank God. And the owner did not have to pay any attorney fees.
Nice.
By the grace of God, the tenants are out. She can get her little places back up to par.
Right.
We're going to place tenants. She's going to have a wonderful experience. But God bless this single mom
Yeah.
that was having to deal with this before us. I mean, it's just
she was
crazy.
probably getting pushed over.
Oh,
man. Has
no,
to.
it was
I don't know the mom,
unbelievable.
but I'm just saying with how that was, like,
Oh,
I
my
would be
gosh.
furious. Dude.
No, and I can't. It's my favorite thing when they say, and we're taking you to court. We've got, and I wanted to tell you this.
Okay.
So when our maintenance guy actually went up, I had him go to the mom's house first,
Yeah.
and then the son's house the next day, because son was requiring a 24-hour notice.
Right.
He's already at the property. He could have gone to both, but 24-hour notice, so he
Fine.
went up the next day too. So
We are in the business of people pleasing.
she's saying this whole house is falling apart.
Yeah.
He walks in. She said it has no heat. It was super warm.
Yeah.
He's like, she never mentioned one thing about the heat. It was super warm. She said she had no oven and no stove. It was a breaker tripped. It was a tripped breaker. Like,
I mean, some people don't know.
you do know. And if you call us, you do. We tell you before you go out.
Yeah.
Like, go check your breaker, make sure
Right.
it didn't trip. Like, that's
Right.
the first thing. If we send a maintenance guy up to your house and it's a trip breaker, you're getting charged for that call.
Ooh.
So go check your breaker and make sure that it didn't trip, right? The hot water heater, her no hot water, a tripped breaker. I'm like, I think you did these yourself, for God's sake. Actually, that one was shut off. I mean, it was unbelievable. There were a couple of issues, a couple of leaks that he fixed. He did everything. He
Yeah.
was there for a couple hours. He left. He called me. He said, you're probably not going to have any issues. She asked me if I wanted her to write a positive review for me. And in that moment, I got another negative Yelp review from her. I just
Fantastic.
sent people up to fix her stuff. Like, no matter what, you just can't win.
You
know?
can't, and you can't back up and try to please people like that. You just have to work around them and get them to their best spot they needed, which wasn't there.
Yeah.
Their spot was not there, and that's
There.
fine.
And
You
you
moved
know,
on.
to be perfectly honest with you, I pray for them because hurting people hurt people.
Of course.
And the things that you can say, the things that she has said to me, she's hurting.
Yeah,
She's very much
I'm
hurting.
sure.
And it's a very sad, and it's both of them. Like, they both obviously didn't fall very far from the tree. So it's a very sad situation. I don't take any of it personal. I just think to myself, like, it's just a sad situation when people think it's okay to talk to another human being like that, you know? And
Yeah.
it doesn't solve anything. But in all of my responses, and this is what I tell my entire staff, don't ever let the way they're treating you influence how you respond.
Yeah.
So my responses, now listen, you want to put on angry fingers, but you don't.
Yeah.
Mine is, on this horrific email of calling me every name in the book,
Right.
including the C word that I can't even say, and she put it in print 2 times. I'm like, thank you so much for your email.
Right.
I'm sorry that didn't work out. And her next message is, you're abusive. I'm like, I just don't even know.
Yeah. Drunk? You're a drunk,
literally.
abusive person, Kandi. I don't know how you do it.
I know. So for all of you that have been following this one email on social media, I will post the others from the last couple days for you.
Man.
You will get a kick out of these as well. But it's
Good.
just a sad situation. But the moral of my entire post was, use a property manager.
Yeah.
And take personal responsibility if you're a tenant.
Yeah.
Like, if you trash the house, when they went into the house, she was letting her animals go to the bathroom all over the floor. Like, it's in such a horror. And this is a single mom who now has to put all this money in. And there's no security deposit left because it just went to a month and a half worth of rent, right?
Right.
So it's one of those things that it's also very important. Even if you only use a property manager to place your tenant for you, you still need to do the annual inspections. You still need to go to the property. You still have to follow, but be with the laws and
Be in your
everything
best
today.
interest. But yeah, it's hard nowadays because it's like 24-hour notice or
gosh.
letting them know. But it's a lot.
Yeah.
The tenants do have, which is, I don't I'm not against it that they have a lot of
the
legal rights to the property,
laws are
which
made
is
for the
fine.
tenants.
Yeah, and that's fine. But don't abuse them. Use them because they're also trying to make sure you have a place to live.
Right.
But manage that place like you're living in it.
Right.
Don't think you're just renting this house and you could just destroy it for no reason,
yes.
right? It's going to come back to you and you're going to have a bad time.
No, literally. And you don't want an eviction on your record. People think an eviction is being given a 30-day notice to get out. That's not an eviction. An eviction is you were given a notice to get out. You did not get out. It went to court. You have a judgment against you. And now the sheriff's coming to move you out.
Yeah.
That's an eviction, and it never leaves your record. It will never. I will not rent to people if they had an eviction 30 years ago. Like if you were able to get to that point where you got out to the point where a sheriff had to come out, you can't, we can't rent to you because that's a different kind of a person.
That's crazy.
Yes. So
it's a lot.
Anyway, there's our whole property management craziness. Now segueing into another crazy situation.
Oh yeah, at the school.
Yeah. So
Dude.
last night.
So no, it was yesterday evening. It was at 2:25, 2:30.
Okay.
This guy was having high school's still in. The preschool had just got out. The last kid, which it's the state preschool. It's like 4 and under. Right
on the corner of Hoffman and Argonaut Lane,
and Stony Creek, right? It's that T intersection.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So you go over down to Stony Creek or turn on to Argonaut Drive, right? And so the last kid leaves at 2:10. Okay. The last kid, and when they're about pickup time, all the kids are playing in the yard, right?
That's right.
I had nightmares about it last night. I was like, man, this could have went so bad by 15 to 20 minutes difference.
Oh my gosh.
I can't tell you what exactly transpired, right? But like looking at it, the guy was coming up Hoffman, and I missed his turn, was trying to go straight, thought he would.
They were drunk.
He did end up. Well, they just came out with the arrest report, and he was drunk. Yeah, I think he said they blew at a .08 or over, and
drunk at 2:00 in the afternoon.
No shirt on when he got pulled out of the car. One of the teachers ran over, and they said he was trying to like drive back out, and he was stuck in the pole.
Oh no!
Not him. The car was stuck in the pole.
He would have been a hit and run.
But he was gonna try to. I'm sure he was trying to get out of there too. Yeah, completely destroyed the gate.
Ran into the preschool, the state preschool. Went into that corner. So instead of turning
missed the electrical box by probably a foot.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Like
so sad.
right across from the courthouse.
Right, it is right across from the courthouse.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
When I walked over there, I was like, holy smokes, man. So they radioed me, right? So I'm walking around the yard. I also work at the high school as a campus supervisor for the high school. And so I'm walking around and I get a radio. Hey, can you meet me? And something happened, blah, blah, blah. It blipped and said, someone ran through the back. I'm like, ran through the back. I'm thinking a kid is trying to leave the school. So I'm over by the pig barn in the back. No. And then I was like, did you say the back or the preschool back?
Oh.
And he's like, someone ran through the preschool. And I was like, okay, not the back of school, the preschool. So then I walk all the way across campus and I see this Jeep, 4-door Jeep, all the way inside of the fence.
Oh my
So it's not like it was halfway, it was all the way in.
Oh my gosh.
The guy was getting checked out. He had to get to hospital. They did the whole sobriety test, did not pass that. So they took him away, and then I was walking around with one of the sheriffs, and we were looking at kind of the tire tracks, and he's like, this doesn't look like brake tracks. Like the guy was braking. It looks like turning tracks. There wasn't heavy rubber on the road. It looked like the guy just turned and just went straight through the fence.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. Well, anyways,
don't drink and drive.
Yeah, at 2:00 on a Monday. What are we doing?
Oh my gosh.
What are we doing? Right?
So we're gonna pray for him too.
But so yeah, the firefighter jumps in. The Jeep was fine. Started right up. We drove it right out, and I was like, "Hey, if this ends up going to an impound lot, you let me know because this Jeep took a beating, and you're able to hop in, throw it in 4 low, and back it right out."
That's hilarious, right? So you're like, so all the impound
it was like
people
crazy
hook us up.
instruction, So
that's crazy.
But it was insane. But I'm looking here, and I talked with sheriffs. I'm like, man, talk about like timing though, like 10 minutes difference. Like I can't think about that. I'm like, my brain goes there.
That's horrible.
My brain goes there. So last night I'm like, man, if that was a whole different scenario, oh man, that would have been wild to walk up.
That's just how God works, though. There are no coincidences. Like that's how God
Everybody
works.
was safe.
Protects,
Everybody was fine. Everybody was out of the way. Nobody was injured.
Thank
that guy
you,
had
Jesus.
a little bit of. They said major stuff. I don't know what was wrong with him. If it was leg, head, whatever he did go, but it wasn't like I don't think it was life threatening.
Yeah.
So everybody was no fatalities. But I would say we probably need to put something up there because this is the second time that's happened. One was during the weekend.
Probably those. What are those? I always want to say
red
pillars.
Just the pillars, like the ones in front of Target or the ones we have in front of our school, right?
Or when you're going into a storage facility, they're usually in front of the key pad, so you can't run
Drive
into it. They're like cement poles.
Right. Or we get an arts deal going. They all paint awesome little bricks, and we just go out there and just put a little nice decorative bricking wall right there, so the wall gets hit first, and then the kids get to have some sort of left memorabilia.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't get ran over.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
They have to be sturdy bricks.
Sturdy bricks.
Oh my gosh. Well, so a little bit of craziness in our world this last week.
That was a Monday. Oh my gosh.
I know it's Tuesday.
What a Monday.
Although this has been happening for me since Saturday, so it is.
Right.
Garrett was right. It has been within the last couple of days. But
couple of days has been wild, man. I don't know what's in the water. Sun's out. People go crazy.
I know. Well, we also have Easter coming up this Sunday.
Man, I am so busy. I was even thinking, I should do an open house. I don't have time to do an open house. But then I think about it. Is it really a good time to do an open house on Easter when everybody's going to be...
Not on Easter.
They're just the weekend. They're going to be out visiting family, doing stuff. So I it's good, but then I also don't see it good because they want to be able to spend time with family, not looking at houses.
It's kind of a crapshoot, to be honest with you. I mean, what I have found is holiday weekends, people think, oh, this is great. They're horrible. Everyone is leaving town on holiday weekends. So you're not generally getting people. But then you think about it, a lot of people are coming to this area, leaving their towns,
then
right?
I just think they're going to see my sign.
Yeah. No, for real. But generally when they're coming, they're not looking for an open house. They're coming for some other reason. And so I do have an open house scheduled on Saturday. Yep. Yeah, I do from 12 to 2. It's the one, we really want to get this
Oro Madre,
250
right above the high school. Beautiful home.
Beautiful property.
It is actually really nice. And they've lowered it. It's to what? $596. $596. Holy smokes.
In the neighborhood up behind Amador High School, everybody knows is a really awesome neighborhood.
It is a really good neighborhood.
Completely remodeled, 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
You know what? Even being off of the main drive-through, I think your busiest times of traffic is when school's in.
Yeah, you're right.
Because other than that, it's really quiet. It's nice up there. Yeah. You have your own little kind of corner piece. No neighbors to the left, no neighbors to the right, and you have ones across the street. But they seem pretty nice. I've met them. I was up there 2 weekends ago, and they were out, and so I went and met them, said hi, and they're great families.
All the people that live up there, super great families. And I think the first one on Oro Madre, when you turn on the right, that's a tenant, but I think the rest are all owner occupied. Right. But no, a great street, great neighborhood. So but for Easter, I'm so excited. So plans? We love Jesus with our whole heart. So Easter is a big deal for us, and we are yesterday. Is today Tuesday? So Sunday.
Today's Wednesday, but it is Tuesday.
Sunday, we got at church. We go to the Call Church in Pine Grove, and oh my gosh, the things that are happening in that church, like God is seriously moving. And 19 baptisms on Sunday.
Wow,
it was so incredible.
That's awesome.
One thing that I love that he does, and then I'll stop talking because I know we've gone over time, but one thing that Pastor Brian does is he does. You can sign up to go through the baptism class, and you can be up there and have it prepared. But here you are in this room, and the baptismal, they bring in the pool into the sanctuary, and he always says, is there anyone else that this has touched your heart in this moment and that you feel like now's your moment? And I'm not kidding. I've never not seen people get up and get in their full clothes. It is oh my gosh. And this last week, there were so many that did that.
That's awesome.
And this one guy, he got in, this great big man, and just bawled. Oh my gosh. Like, I can't get enough tissues. It's just such an awesome symbolism of your, outward expression of your love for Jesus, right?
Well, it's supposed to be the cleansing wash, right?
Yeah, it is.
I've never done it.
Ultimately, you're asking for your forgiveness and asking the Lord, to live in your heart and to follow Him all the days of your life. That's ultimately your forgiveness, right? So then you're forgiven. And your whole life changes from that. The prayer of salvation, if you will. But what baptisms is basically an outward expression of what you're feeling inside. Yeah. So and it's really awesome. When you do the baptism and you go under and then come back out, a lot of times you feel different. It's really, really awesome. So
I'm sure. It's meaning though too. You're not just so awesome. Most people don't just do it to do it. They're doing it to have meaning in it, and it's going to provide something for you. And I totally agree with them, right? That's why I do believe it does make it emotional, right? I'm not saying like it's any weird, but the best medicine and health that you can have is mindset.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
Like if you believe it, it's going to happen.
That's
you know, it's all about the manifestation
what you think
and all
about
that
comes about.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's probably why it's holding so much in for them. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I think also it's really being forgiven of everything in your past.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. I mean, there was one guy that, you know, they give the people that are there an opportunity to talk if they want to, the people who've gone through the class and you know they're going to do it. And one guy was just amazing. And he said he has, I can't remember how old he was, but he's held in. He has so much guilt for how so many things he's done in his life that haunt him every day.
Yeah.
And that forgiveness of Jesus is unbelievable. And I mean, it literally frees you of everything that you've ever done in your past. Like the old is gone and the new has come. It literally washes away.
Yeah.
And so it's just really, really an awesome thing. So anyway, call church. 3 services on Sunday, one at 7:30, one at 9, one at 10:45. Amazing if you can make it. Super, super awesome. And I mean, there are people, what do they call them? They are their, I can't remember. So it's Easter and Christmas only. What are there's a term for it. I can't remember.
Holiday
anyway,
tourists?
No. It's like there's like an acronym for it. And I can't remember what it is, but still, it's
like the
really,
guys that
really
only
awesome.
go those times.
Yes.
I remember Easter. We always went to the Mount Zion sunrise service.
Oh, right.
For Easter.
Yeah.
We always went up there because it was just
That's
awesome.
awesome.
They
That's
build a
awesome.
campfire, roast marshmallows, sing songs and whatnot.
Yeah. Now, Good Friday, this upcoming Friday is Good Friday, and there's a Good Friday service also.
Exactly.
So if you go to thecallchurch.net or thecallchurch.com, you'll see all of their services. But anyway,
Call Church is off of Ridge Road in Pine Grove.
Yes.
And you
Really,
can see a
really
sign.
great. I mean, it's a really great pastor, and he is a teacher, and he's not a preacher. He really teaches you the word, and it's really, really aligned with the Bible, Holy Spirit led.
Nice.
He believes in the Trinity. Like, it's a non-denominational Christian church. So anyway, for anybody that was
Fantastic.
looking for a new church, that could be it.
Good times and great people. That's what you guys got to look forward to. Celebrate your loved ones this weekend and have a good time. Keep the barbecues hot, not too hot. Hopefully have a great week. And hopefully have great weather.
Great weather.
So
yes.
we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, you guys. Provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. All opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not reflect the official stance of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services or Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Divine Properties or any affiliated entities. This podcast does not constitute legal, financial, or real estate advice, and listeners are encouraged to consult with qualified professionals regarding their specific needs. While we strive to provide accurate information, we make no guarantees regarding the completeness or reliability of any information discussed. We are not responsible for any actions taken by listeners based on the content of this podcast. Additionally, topics covered in the podcast are based on the host's experience and opinions and may not apply to all situations. Listeners are reminded that real estate laws and regulations may vary by location, and information may become outdated over time. By listening to this podcast, you agree to release the host, guests, and any associated entities from any liability related to the topics discussed.